In the scriptural justice system, the highest of the high, the Most High, Yah, is the judge and jury, and the seed of Israel are his children. These are their stories. Number 1. How long did Shem live? Genesis 11:10-11. Shem was 100 years old when he fathered Arphaxad, 2 years after the flood. Shem lived 500 years after fathering Arphaxad. Total lifespan equals 600 years. So Shem lived 98 years before the flood, because the flood came when Noah was 600, 500 years after the flood. Meaning, open quote, Shem lived 500 years into the post-flood world. Close quote. Number 2. Exact post-flood timeline. Let's anchor the key dates. Flood year equals year 0, reference point. Shem's age at the flood equals 98. Shem dies 500 years after the flood equals year 500. So Shem's lifespan is, before flood, 98 years, after flood, 500 years, total 600 years. Number 3. Who Shem lived long enough to meet? This is where it gets deep. Because Shem lived 500 years after the flood, he overlapped with many generations, including Abraham. Let's go generation by generation. Shem Arphaxad. Arphaxad born 2 years after the flood. Shem age 102. Overlap 438 years. Arphaxad Salah, born when Arphaxad was 35. Shem age 137. Overlap 403 years. Salah Eber, born when Salah was 30. Shem age 167, 373 years. Eber Peleg, born when Eber was 34, Shem elap 339 years. Peleg Reu, born when Peleg was 30, Shem age 231, overlap 309 years. Serug, born when Reu was 32, Shem age 263, overlap 277 years. Serug Nahor, born when Serug was 30, Shem age 293, overlap 207 years. Nahor Terah, born when Nahor was 29, Shem age 322, 178 years. Terah Abraham. Abraham born when Terah was 70, Shem aged 392 years old when Abraham was born. Overlap 208 years. This is the part mainstream churches never teach. Number 4. Shem lived long enough to see Abraham, Isaac, and possibly Jacob, depending on which chronology you follow. Let's calculate exactly. Abraham lived 175 years, Genesis 25:7. Shem lived until the flood, plus 500 years. Abraham was born flood plus 292 years. So Shem died flood plus 500. Abraham died flood 292 plus 175. Equals flood 467. They overlapped for 208 years and Abraham died before Shem. Meaning, open quote, Shem outlived Abraham by about 33 years. Close quote. This is huge. Number 5. Did Shem meet Isaac? Isaac born when Abraham was 100. Flood plus 292, 200, flood 392. Shem dies at 500. So open quote, Shem overlapped with Isaac for 108 years. Close quote. Number 6. Did Shem meet Jacob? Jacob born when Isaac was 60. Flood 392, 60, flood 452. Shem dies at flood 500. So open quote, Shem and Jacob overlapped for 48 years. Close quote. Yes, Shem was still alive during Jacob's early life. Number 7. This means Shem personally lived through the flood. Shem personally lived through the Tower of Babel event. Shem personally lived during the founding of Mesopotamian kingdoms. Shem personally lived during Abraham's life and outlived him. Shem personally lived during Isaac's life. Shem lived long enough to see Jacob born and grow into adulthood. This is why ancient Hebrew tradition considers Shem a priestly patriarch, a keeper of pre-flood knowledge, a transmitter of righteousness, the link between pre-flood and post-flood worlds. The Most High used Shem as the living bridge between the world before the flood, the world after the flood, the beginning of the Israelite bloodline. Shem lived long enough to tell Abraham and Isaac first-hand stories of the pre-flood world. This is why Shem's lineage carried the true calendar, circumcision knowledge, sacred knowledge, pre-flood purity laws, clean-unclean distinctions, ancient technological memory. Number 8. Final timeline summary, easy to screenshot. Shem, born 98 years before the flood, age at flood 98, lived after flood 500 years, total lifespan 600 years. Major overlaps: Abraham, 208 years, Isaac, 108 years, Jacob, 48 years. Shem outlived Abraham by 33 years. Shem lived in the time of Jacob. Events: Shem lived through Tower of Babel, rise of Nimrod, early Sumer, early Egypt, early Canaanite nations, Abraham's calling, Isaac's birth, Jacob's birth.
I'm just flying high on my horse. I live by peace while you incite wars. I just mind my business, I just mind my business. While you just in your feelings, you just in your feelings.